Hello, my darlings. So, for today's reading, we're going to be using Chiro Marchetti's Oracle of Visions for the theme of the reading. We're going to be using Chiro Marchetti's Tarot of Dreams for the actual tarot spread, for the main tarot spread. And then for clarification, we're going to be using the Rider-Waite-Smith, okay? So, as I shuffle, I want to remind you guys, because apparently it's still a thing, people are still replying to comments, trying to get others to send them friend requests, to follow them, to purchase readings. They're messaging you. Stay safe out there, guys, because legitimate readers don't need to do any of that. Legitimate readers have their own businesses. They have their own business page. They know you will come to them. The fact that some of these people have been stealing my name, my pictures, my logos, and trying to pass themselves off as me should tell you everything you need to know about these people. But all I could do is warn you. It's up to you. If you want to stay safe and listen. I also want to take this time to thank everybody who has been signing up for the monthly membership, those who have been sending stars, reacting to the videos, commenting, sharing them, following the YouTube channel, the Facebook page. I really appreciate y'all. Everything y'all do really lets me know that you appreciate my time and energy. You love what I do and allow me to do what I love, and that means so much to me. So thank you. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Let's see. What is the theme? Oh, that was quick. Listen, I mentioned creativity in the last reading and it was the wrong card. This is the card I was envisioning. So it's curious that it came out for this one, number 14. Hold on. Okay. Number 14. So number 1, 4, or 5 could be important to you. This one says creativity, imagination. Each day is a new canvas to paint upon. Make sure your picture is full of life and happiness, and at the end of the day, you don't look at it and wish you had painted something different. Ritu Gaturi. I don't know if that's how I pronounce it, but in its myriad forms, creativity is an expression of our humanity and imagination, both in its production and in its recognition. To take shape, color, form, sound, or words and give them a new life is an act of creation. Various symbols of the tools and medium through which creativity is expressed are worn by our artist as a decorative headdress of imagination. Sometimes creativity can consume our thoughts as slow-burning embers waiting for release. At other times, it is a spontaneous explosion of inspiration. Either way, it is a wondrous human characteristic, and there are infinite varieties of individual expression, but alas, also an infinite variety of assessment by others. Okay. Interesting. So, this has to do with creativity. Let's see how that applies. Give me the first set for this collective. First set for this collective. We get the Palace of Wands. Okay. The Page of Wands. The Ten of Pentacles. And the Ace of Cups. With the Two of Wands. Interesting. Interesting. So, sorry. So someone here is wanting to build stability. Ten of Coins is building a legacy, building stability that has wealth that you can pass on, to your children, to your grandchildren. They're receiving inspiration, or hold on. Usually, this would be receiving inspiration, but this cup is empty. So I think that this person is opening themselves up to receive inspiration. They haven't received it yet. They're about to. because Spirit can sense this opening, this receptive energy. They're wanting to do this, but in a place where they're enjoying themselves. The Palace of Wands is a place of creativity. It is a place of fun and imagination. So this is like somebody who wants to be the next J.K. Rowling, the next, what's his name? Oh, no, I can't think of him. Anyways, like a fantasy writer or somebody who creates video games. They want to make a living doing something they love, but something that's so fun to them. It's full of creativity and imagination. They're curious about doing this. So they're opening themselves up. But with the Two of Wands here, this is an Aries Mars card. This is almost like instructions. Because Spirit is saying, okay, you're opening up. You're about to let me fill your cup with inspiration, with ideas, with blessing. That means you better fucking take action. When I give you this idea, you better move. You know that. When I move, you move. As soon as Spirit makes a move, you make a move. Clarify Palace of Wands. Let's see. Nine of Pentacles. The Star. Nine of Swords. Oh, with the Seven of Wands. I'm gonna tell you something. This may have something to do with fame. Because the Star. Now, I don't always see the Star this way, but right now, I'm definitely seeing it this way. Somebody wants to make a living. Somebody wants to live in luxury, build a legacy. And whatever it is they're going to do, they know it's going to bring them fame. It's going to bring them recognition, success. But they are a little concerned with that. Because it's like, whoever this is wants this, and at the same time, it gives them anxiety thinking of fame. It gives them anxiety thinking of everybody knowing who they are. And I think that today's reading has to do with addressing fear of success. Because most people don't even think that's a thing. Most people are like, who would be afraid of success? Well, it's actually a very common thing. Because the ego, the very primal part of our brain, the reptilian part of our brain, is built for survival, right? And if where you are now, it feels comfortable, it feels safe, success would be a threat because it's new, it's unexplored, it's something unfamiliar, foreign. So it's creating stress in somebody having to step out of their comfort zone. They really want it though. So they're trying to push down this fear. They're trying to say, stop it. I don't want to be afraid. Clarify Page of Wands. The Death card. The Knight of Swords. Page of Pentacles. Justice card. And the Hangman. Okay. See, this just kind of reinforces it. It reinforces what I was saying, because this is somebody who's very curious about what would life be like if I lived it like this. What would I be like? Because what I'm sensing here is somebody who has the mentality of like, well, everybody who grows changes. For example, a lot of Latinas, we listened to Shakira's music way before she was a big deal, way before she was a superstar. She was just Shakira. And she used to dress differently. She used to be a lot more organic. Not that I don't like her now. I still love Shakira. But I have seen some people make comments of like, yeah, she's not the same anymore. I mean, you kind of can't. Let's be real. When you enter into a certain world where your success is owed to your fans, you're going to be a lot more, it's not that you can't be authentic, but you're going to be a lot more careful of how you direct yourself, because you don't want to disappoint the people that are building. They're the legs you stand on, right? Your fans, your supporters are the legs you stand on. Think of them like these poles of support. Without those poles of support, there is no success. So it will change this person on some level. And it's almost like this person's somebody who's saying, well, I won't change. I'm going to stay exactly as I am. But again, they're thinking on it on a very small scale. Most people who think like that do not understand a wealthy lifestyle, do not understand how people like that are built. With the Justice card, there's no such thing as something for nothing. You receive, but you're going to have to give of yourself. And the more you receive, the more you're going to have to give of yourself. And I think this is something that has stopped this person. Subconsciously, they know this. Subconsciously, they know that they can't reach this level of success while staying exactly as they are. They're aware that they're going to have to give something. And I think that they're kind of afraid of what sacrifices they're going to have to make. Clarified 10 of coins. Two of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. Clarified 10 of coins. And the Emperor. With the Seven of Swords. So someone here, this is interesting. Because someone here is like, oh, I know the type of life I want. I know what legacy I want to build. But what they may have to sacrifice. I feel like some people here think they have to sacrifice love. Like they can't focus on love right now because they'd have to put all their energy into this. Or the Emperor is somebody that they see as an authority figure. This could be a father, a grandfather, an uncle, a mentor of some sort. That person may want them to go in a different direction. So they'd have to kind of sneak away to live life on their terms. And that means that they would most likely have to sacrifice the connection to their family, possibly, to their roots, because their family does not understand this type of lifestyle, does not want this type of lifestyle. So if there's two different ways this could be interpreted. One, somebody here is thinking they're going to have to avoid intimacy, avoid building a family, because they have to focus on building their career. If this person feels like I have to sacrifice my connections to family because my family will not support me on this and they may cut me off, they may be thinking I want to find a partner that will support me so that I can rebuild my own family. Clarify Ace of Cups. The Fool. Knight of Wands and Strength. Well, I'm going to tell you this. Whoever this person is, they're being courageous. 3 cards in a row. Actually 4. But on the table, 3 cards in a row showing bravery. Willing to take a leap of faith. Willing to fight for what they want, to pursue their goal. And fighting their fears, showing strength and bravery, not giving up. They're about to become a channel. See, people like me, when we say we're a mouthpiece, we say we're channeling. It's because that's what we become. We become a vessel. Spirit pours messages, information, and we are just the tool through which the information comes in. And it could be that the idea of that terrified this person before, was something that they really struggled with. But 4 cards in a row of them saying, okay, I'm ready. Let's do this. All right, let's see. Somebody's about to become a vessel for spirit, for imagination, for creativity. Next set. The Justice card. The 9 of Swords. Oh boy. Okay. I'm only going to take the one I saw. Oh, great. I didn't realize there was 2 here. Okay, the High Priestess. The 8 of Coins. And the Hermit. Ooh, 5 of Cups. Damn. Okay. So, this is so interesting because I feel like I'm speaking to a very specific person or group of people. And the reason I say it's interesting is because this is something I went through. And it could be why you're here. It could be why you're drawn to this reading. Because some of you have possibly been raised in a religious environment or in a very conservative environment with your family. And now that you want to do this, part of your fear, and I'm just going to call it like it is, okay? Part of your fear is that you're going against the laws of nature. You're afraid that part of what your biggest fear, it's just a fear, remember this is the mind. Part of your fear is that what will be asked of you in return for these gifts will be your soul. I'm not trying to laugh because I used to think this way too. That's why I think it's kind of funny, because I remember this feeling. To become a high priestess, you're afraid you're going to have to trade in something that's your core. And then you might grow in wealth. You'll become wise. But let me tell you something. When I bought my first deck of tarot, I remember I was both fascinated and terrified of it. I sat with my with my tarot deck on a desk, and at night I couldn't sleep because I was so terrified that things were going to start flying, that that I would start floating, that it's stupid, but I had been raised with such a fear of the paranormal, and for so long had been told that all of these things were connected to tarot and astrology, and I considered it witchcraft, and I was so terrified of it. And I feel like whoever I'm speaking to, in some way, it's like you're afraid you may lose God's favor. You're afraid you may lose your connection to divinity. But as somebody who is now a channel, I'm here to tell you that does not happen. In fact, I've never been more connected to divinity. Um, I've never been attacked by demons. I've never had to deal with any of that. Because I think the people who deal with that are people who expose themselves to, wanting to possibly control other people. They use mysticism, they use divinity in a very twisted way. So of course you're going to get very twisted results. But that goes for anything. What's really funny is that the people that I've seen use black magic the most are Christians, are people who believe in God. Ain't that a bitch? But with time I started chilling out because I realized I'm not losing my soul. On the contrary, I gained such a sense of empowerment and growth. I started releasing a lot of fear and shame and guilt. Because to be a true vessel, to be a clear vessel, I have to be strong. I have to be strong within. We have to work on ourselves constantly. So whoever it is that I'm talking to, I do understand your fears. I do. Because I used to have them. And it could be that part of the creativity is wanting to be a tarot reader, wanting to be an astrologer. Or believing that opening yourself up to the universe is witchcraft in a way. And it's not. It seems like magic. But it's really not. It's very... Everything in the universe is made up of energy and matter. That's it. And energy cannot be destroyed or created. Everything that we see, everything that already exists, is energy. So when we pull in an idea, that already existed. We are just the vessel through which we change its density, and now it becomes something tangible. Okay? Let's clarify Justice card. We've got the Hierophant. Oh, wow. Yep. Look at that. That looks like the Pope. I'm telling you, somebody here was raised from a very religious background. Oh, excuse me. One more. Yeah, look at this. The Moon card. There's a lot of fear here. And I'm telling you, I really do understand it. Somebody here is afraid of being on the wrong side of God's people. But that's not what happens. And I'm going to be very clear. I used to be a hardcore Christian, okay? For those of you who know what Jehovah's Witnesses are, I used to be a Jehovah's Witness. Those are hardcore Christians, okay? I learned the Bible from covereth to covereth. There was not really any part of the Bible that I had not explored or studied or researched. And you know what that taught me? It taught me that the art of prophecy is what others would consider witchcraft. And the Bible's full of prophecy. In the book of, I forget now because it's been a while, of Exodus, or I'm actually going to look it up. But there was these stones called Urim and Tumim. And these stones were used, they had one side, I don't know if they were stones or they were bones, but either way, the high priests used them. And they would use them, look, this is what they are, Urim and Tumim. In the Hebrew Bible, the Urim and Tumim are elements of the Hoshen, the breastplate worn by the high priest attached to the ephod. They are connected with claromancy. Interesting. They would use them to ask God for answers. So, let me tell you, for those of you who are biblical, I'll tell you which verse so you can go find it. let's see. 1 of Samuel 14:41. Yeah. And there's several passages where, like, there's that's one very specific passage, but there's several things where, like in the book of Exodus, when they're trying to find, there's the story of a man named, in Spanish it's Acán. I can't remember the names in English because I read the Bible in Spanish. His name was Acán. He had stolen something, and he was bringing down punishment to his whole tribe, to the whole nation actually, by lying and hiding it. And they found him by little sorting out which tribe, like they would use a yes or no. Was it this one? No. Okay, sort that one out. This one? No. This one? Yes. Okay, this is the one. We'll eliminate all the others. Now, family by family, until they found which family it was. That is like tarot. Jesus never said anything about understanding the future. For those who are true Christians and have read the Bible, they know that Jesus only gave 2 commandments: to love God with all your heart, with all your soul, with everything you are, and to love your fellow man the same way. That's it. Those are the 2 commandments he gave. So true Christians follow those 2 commandments. And if you believe yourself to be a Christian, you want to follow something like this, or you want to become a vessel of some sort, religion is man-made. Christianity, true Christianity, which follows Christ's principles, is very simple. It has nothing to do with magic. It says nothing about homosexuality. It says nothing about anything that most Christians love to harp on about. Okay? I think the fear is that, oh, what if I become wealthy by doing this? It's confusing because somebody here feels divinely led to it, and at the same time they feel this conflict of like, what if it's evil? Let me tell you something. If you equate success to something evil, then you really haven't read the Bible. You've got a lot of fears around this because in the Bible, that was part of showing that somebody had God's approval. Every king, every judge, every person biblically that had God's approval became wealthy. That was a symbol of being blessed by God. So if now you're equating poverty as the symbol of being blessed by God, I invite you to think about who taught you that, because biblically that was never accurate. That was never true. Even Jesus wore fine linen and purple robes, which were a sign of status. So don't go sitting there thinking that poverty equates God's favor, because that's not true. Clarify 9 of Swords. And anybody who taught you that is probably man-made. It's a man-made construct, not a biblical one. 4 of Swords, the Tower. And 2 of Wands. Okay. Because some of you really do have a father figure or somebody you respect. So this could have been the priest that y'all grew up with. I don't know. Somebody you see as you look up to this person, you respect this person. You're afraid of letting them down. But ultimately, you are going to heal this fear. And I don't know if the Tower is the words I'm saying now or some revelation that you're going to have as you read. But not just there's no one way to measure goodness, is what I'm trying to say. There's no one way to measure what's right or wrong. Yes, things like that can be subjective, but ultimately, if you're not hurting people, if you're helping, you're healing, how would any of that go against what God wants? So I do see somebody here getting past it, healing that mentality. Clarify, High Priestess. Got the Page of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, Knight of Swords. Because with the Five of Cups, there is a lot of maybe family or whoever this person was really gave a tongue lashing to this person. Let them know how they're a terrible human being for doing this. They're a terrible human being for not obeying. But that itself tells you that that's a man-made concept. The fact that you're supposed to obey without any question, that was never a commandment Jesus gave. And y'all have to remember that. He was very specific about what he wanted. Somebody here is learning that. They're becoming a channel. They're accepting it. Because maybe they've been having downloads that had to do with that. But they were afraid that those downloads were coming from a demon. That they were connected to something that was telling them, turn your back on God. But that's not what anything, none of this would ever encourage you to do that. In fact, this is, it's divinity that we receive answers from. Just like the prophets of old. So this might help somebody to reconcile with the idea that they may have to cut parents, family out of their life. Because those people are going to be very aggressive. They're going to be constantly making you feel like shit. Because they're not following Christianity the way it should be done. They're following the man-made version of it, which is very rule-ridden. It's very, you have to live like this, or otherwise you're going to be, out of God's favor. That's not how it really goes. So it's going to require a lot of will, a lot of personal strength to get past this. Clarify the Eight of Coins. And I'm a living example of that. My family also does not speak to me. The only ones that speak to me are my siblings, and that's just how it is. Clarify Eight of Coins. Can't control that. Do I still love them? Yes. Do I still respect them? Yes. I respect their beliefs. And I love them. It doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt, but we'll be all right. After so many years, I'm kind of forgetting what it's like to have a big family. Okay. So we've got the Eight of Coins with the World card. This is a leveling up for somebody here. I think the only blockage that was left was that one. Somebody having to let go of their ties to their religious background, to their religious upbringing. But they're getting inspiration now. They're ready. They're becoming the channel. They're opening themselves up. Because they're starting to access, this is how you know whether something is right or wrong. How do you feel doing it? When you help people, if maybe you're writing stories, maybe you're making music, whatever it is that you're doing, it's different than what you were taught to do. But it brings a lot of joy. It brings a lot of emotional fulfillment. Especially Six of Pentacles, I think it's helping other people. And if you are helping other people, how could that be wrong? Clarify Hermit. Judgment. The Moon and the Ten of Cups. With the Magician. Yeah. Somebody here was passing judgment on themselves. They were feeling that they were doing wrong. They were feeling that they were going against the natural order of things. But divination is part of the natural order of things. That's why divination has been around since the dawn of time. Since the dawn of man. Since the beginning of time, that's what I meant to say. Astrology has been around. They've found astrology as far back as the Sumerians, which is supposedly the cradle of civilization. So That's always been a desire of humans, to be able to have some predictability in their future. And even though with the moon it brings out fear in some, if you know that in reality you're growing in wisdom and you're feeling emotionally fulfilled, you feel called to this way of life, then don't run from it. Embrace it, do your work, and do it well. Be the example to others in showing them that just because you are a part of this life does not make you fall out of anybody's favor. Maybe humans, but humans are very prejudiced creatures. You can fall out of favor with a human for many reasons. That's their issue. That doesn't mean you lose divinity's favor. Ooh, the Lovers. The Moon. Two of Coins. How interesting. This could also be that somebody here... Wow. The magic stick, huh? Big dick energy. So this could also be that somebody here is drawn towards a person that is in this field. Maybe they're the ones that come from a religious background. And they're very drawn to unite with someone who does this type of work. But they may have to choose between this person and their family. Let's see. I will tell you this, there's a lot of fear. Somebody here is trying to understand where the fear is coming from. Because the fact that the moon keeps showing up is subconscious. They're trying to understand who taught me to fear this. Because they feel a lot of passion for somebody here. Clarify the Lovers, let's see. Or they feel a lot of passion for a certain career, for a certain calling. Got the Eight of Cups, Ten of Swords, Four of Wands. Ten of Wands, High Priestess, and Queen of Pentacles. With the Knight of Wands. So they've already tried avoiding this. Somebody here has already tried staying away from someone else. They've tried ending the connection. But somehow it's like they can't. They keep coming around. They keep coming back to it. I'm hearing a song. Hold on. I don't know it. I'm just hearing a phrase. Who sings this? It's a country song. Oh, George Strait. Okay, I love George Strait. It's Carried Away. It says, I don't take my whiskey to extremes. I don't believe in chasing crazy dreams. My feet are planted firmly on the ground, but darling, when you come around, I get carried away by the look, by the light in your eyes. Before I even realize the ride I'm on, baby, I'm long gone. I get carried away. Nothing matters but being with you, like a feather flying high up in the sky on a windy day. I get carried away. It might seem like an ordinary night, same old stars, the same old moon up high, but when I see you standing at your door, nothing's ordinary anymore. I get carried away, and it keeps going. Whew. So, so that is disturbing somebody here. They consider themselves usually really grounded. They're usually very strategic, very, very, like their head is screwed on straight, except when this other person comes around. They see this person as very mystical, very mysterious, very magical type person. It doesn't matter. I keep getting that energy. Like, it doesn't matter how hard they run. They keep coming back to this. And it's like they're losing control. They don't like it, but they're also excited by it. So somebody here is getting to the point where they want to take this to something more serious, because although whoever they're attracted to, they see them as mysterious. Now, there may also be a mother figure here that puts all this fear into them. But even with all of that, they know whoever this high priestess is, she may be mysterious. Now, I say she because it's a high priestess, could be a man. They could be mysterious. They can be magical, but they're also somebody you can trust. They are somebody who is reliable. They're also very practical. Clarify the moon. Strength card. Five of Swords. This one popped out too. Five of Cups. Seven of Wands. The High Priestess. The Hierophant. The King of Wands. The Queen of Cups. Wow. So the creativity, the imagination element may be brought in because maybe somebody imagined the worst. Somebody was letting their imagination get carried away. But not in a good way, in a bad way. They kept thinking the worst about this person. Maybe they thought that this person was putting work on them. Maybe they thought that this person would be, I don't know. I don't know what they thought, but they weren't thinking great thoughts, let's be honest. But it's somebody's here is getting to know the other person. So this high priestess, they're starting to see, yeah, they may be a high priestess, but they're also grounded. They're soft. They're loving. Both of these cards are nurturing. They're kind. They're compassionate. It's creating some sort of cognitive dissonance here. What they expect to see, what they're told to see is totally different than what they're actually seeing. And with the Strength card, it's like it's dominating, it's overpowering the fear. The fear is dying down. Because it's almost like this person is trying to catch someone else in a lie, trying to catch someone else in falseness. And with the Five of Cups, they're realizing all I'm doing is really pushing this person away. When I want to understand them. They actually see this person as a guide. They actually respect and look up to this person. But I think that they were fighting it because they weren't sure if this was a good thing or a bad thing. Was this something beneficial for them? Was it detrimental for them? But they're showing up with the King of Wands now. Ready to take a risk. Like, I love this Ace of Wands because it's a volcano, which means that this is pressure that's been building up for some time. And there's going to be an explosion. You know what I'm saying? Clarify Two of Coins. Let's see. Clarify the Two of Coins. Oh, an Empress, huh? Interesting. Clarify Two of Coins. Two of Swords. Three of Coins with the Seven of Coins. So whoever it was that was on the fence, they're in the energy of, but this is like they were very confused, but things are getting more clear. Because they're realizing if there's ever anybody that's worth the investment, is this Empress, this High Priestess. If there's ever anybody that I considered divine, is this person. They may not know with the Two of Swords, they may not know what the Empress feels towards them. That's giving them a little bit of pause. Because for a long time, all they've been doing is pushing her away. They have built some sort of foundation with her. It just hasn't really gotten them far. Because it's like they would put 5 bricks and take away 3 or 4. It's there, but it's not progressing much. But the Ace of Wands, somebody's about to step on the gas. Let's see. Let's pull a few more cards so we can get a bit more clarity on what the hell's going on here. Because this reading has shifted dramatically. That's not what I was expecting. We've got the Star. It could be a mix of both things. It could be that this person is drawn towards the lifestyle that this Empress lives, this High Priestess. And it might have to involve a lifestyle that goes against their beliefs. Oh, hold on. Oh, I lost it. Hold on. Okay. We got Judgment and the Palace of Coins with the Queen of Swords. See, that Star energy is here again. It's almost like, okay, let's say this Empress is headed for fame. And this is somebody who's like, well, if this person was more low-key, I would have totally gotten into a relationship with them. But the fact that they're going to be so visible, now they have to make a more conscious choice. Because maybe before they would have asked her to hide who she is so that their family doesn't judge them. You know, kind of like, well, you do that on the side, right? But let's just not tell my family what you do for a living. But this Empress, sorry, I'm like adjusting my chair. This specific Empress is very visible. She will not hide what she does. And she's showing up very firm in that. So it puts them in a place of having to choose whether they want to build something with her or they're going to have to walk away to do that, to build with her, to build a legacy. They may have to walk away from people or things that are very important to them. And I feel like they're in the middle of making this decision because Judgment is making a decision. It's a life-changing, it's Pluto, it's a life-changing decision. Once you cross this threshold, there will be no going back. Clarify the Star. Judgment, Knight of Pentacles, Clarify the star. Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. See, it's like they feel a bond to both things. They do feel a bond to the Empress, but they also feel a bond towards what she does. They're attracted by it. So maybe this is somebody who is ready to enter the world of what they used to consider fantasy. They used to consider it, oh, that's just your imagination. But I think that maybe now they're starting to see it as more because of this Empress. She touches their inner child, their desire to explore and be curious and be open. Because remember, that's how we started, right? Somebody here's becoming an open vessel. They're opening up to things they don't understand. So it could be that they're also having an open mind. And judgment keeps coming out because they're going to have to decide. Now, I do see them not making the decision yet. They're like in the middle of deciding what they want to do. Because like I said, Pluto energy. They know once they take this step, they can't come back. But she shows up as something very tantalizing to them. Not just because of how they feel about her, but because of who she is as a person. Being around her is refreshing. It's like she's a glass of fresh spring water on a hot day. That's what it feels like. So the idea of being around her, it's enticing. The idea of spending days with her, being a part of her life, her being a part of theirs, they like that idea. So they're just finishing wrestling those last few fears. Clarify Eight of Cups. Seven of Pentacles, the World, the Sun, the Three of Wands. They're starting to envision, what would it be like? What would it be like to be a part of this world of hers? Because they have a feeling that they would be a power couple. They have a feeling that this would go, remember the star, the world, sun, this is world famous. I don't know what these two plan on doing, but whoever it is that's looking at this Empress is thinking, we'd be world famous. They're starting to think big. They're starting to think of how far their reach would go. They're thinking of expansion. And it's like they're getting ready to walk away. They're getting ready to open themselves up. They're getting ready to conquer their fears. Clarify Judgment. Almost like they admire her for that as well. They may also know she had to walk away from things in her own life to be able to be here. Clarify Judgment. Hanged Man, yep, the Tower, the Hierophant. Look at that. They want to match her. Where before, she's the one showing up in warrior mode. She's the one showing up as somebody who, you see how she's like dressed up almost like a Valkyrie? I mean, I'm sure Valkyrie's dressed in a much more warrior mode, but it's coming across very Valkyrie to me. And Valkyries were divine warriors, feminine divine warriors. It's like they're showing up as King of Swords as her match. Like wanting to show her, you're not the only one that can stand up for what they believe in. You're not the only one that can have success. They're learning from her. Where now they see things from a very different perspective, I feel. And I feel like that change has come from her. This is two different things. First of all, they see things very differently because she's guiding them. She's instructing them. Without realizing it, I think, she's become a guide to them. And the other part of it is that they see religion, and everything that they used to see as solid has shifted dramatically. Like they're seeing it from a very different angle. Let's see. Last one. Clarify the piles of coins. There's King of Swords again. Okay. Four of Swords, Ten of Wands, Ten of Pentacles. Okay. But look, they're matching her on a lot of different levels. Where she showed up as the Queen of Swords, they're showing up as King of Swords. Where she showed up as the Queen of Cups, they're showing up as the King of Cups. They're matching her. They're being very careful because they're trying to calculate what it would take exactly. They're, like I said, they're in the pause right now where they're considering all of these things. They understand the responsibility that it would take. So it's like they're trying to understand what they would lose and what they would gain. Because they know that they would gain a life with her. They would gain... The Palace of Coins goes beyond the Ten of Coins, though. That's why I'm saying they plan to go big with this. But they're also aware that they would lose. They would lose some things. So this is somebody who's trying to make a very important decision right now. I want to reread 14, the imagination card, because I'm trying to understand how that plays out in all of this. Creativity, imagination. Each day is a new canvas to paint upon. Make sure your picture is full of life and happiness, and at the end of the day, you don't look at it and wish you had painted something different. Oh. So, I missed that. I missed that. They may start to see her as an artist. What she does, where other people might judge her as a witch, other people might judge her as... They're seeing it as an art form. And art can be expressed in different ways, and people will interpret it in different ways. But that's all about their perspective. So it's like this person is shifting their perspective on how they see her and what she does, and its influence on them. Interesting. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to stop here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to watch the other collective that I made that's only for the members of the monthly subscription, the link for that will be in the description box. I'm looking forward to your feedback, and see you guys later. Bye-bye.